Sports Center.
Hello and welcome to Colonial Sports Center. I'm Cam Wickline. This is Casey Irwine. Casey, what do we got in store for the people today?
Well, we've got a lot in stock for you all tonight. We've got a few seasons finishing up. We've got a few seasons in the playoffs. We've got a few seasons that are starting to get their ground run. We've got a few awards to be handed out. It's a lot of exciting stuff here in the spring for the Colonials. But Cam, you're going to get us started right away with some men's basketball here.
Absolutely jam-packed show, so let's not get any time wasted. The Colonials had their last regular season game, home game at the UPMC Event Center. They took on the Norse of Northern Kentucky. You're going to get a look at Andy Toll there as he's going to try and get his squad right before they go into the Horizon League playoffs. Starting off in the first half, Trey Robinson's going to come up with the ball, going to find Marquise Warwick, and he was a demon all night. Makes a tough layup here over Alvaro Folgueras, up 9-0 early. The Colonials not looking good early. Now Stephon Walker, he's going to look to do something here. A little bit of ball movement over to TJ, drives back out to Josh Corbin. Josh Corbin hits a deep three here. That's what he's been doing all year. When the Colonials are going right, Josh Corbin's going right. Now, Justice Williams right up to the free throw. Not a free throw, but takes a beautiful little fadeaway, and the Colonials make a little bit of a comeback. 11-10, close game now. Marquise Warwick, unfortunately, he's going to do it to the Colonials again. Marquise Warwick super deep over Justice Williams, and it just looked like a layup from how deep it was. He was impressive. TJ Wayne right now with the ball. He is going to pass an alley-oop right up to Marquise Hastings. Hastings slams it down. 22-15. Northern Kentucky still up. Now, on an inbound play, they're going to find Trey Robinson. He's going to look to do something, drive, and shows Marquise Hastings, anything you can do, I can do just a little bit better when he slams that one down. Now Corbin fakes a three, goes to drive. He gets stripped. Trey Robinson comes up with the ball, but Folgueras has something to say, and he blocks him. No, no, no. The Colonials still down big, 30-18. Now, with a little bit left in the first half, Warwick drives again, a tough layup. He is everywhere on the court in this game. He was tough to stop. Now, for the Colonials, Folgueras gets the ball over to Corbin, and Corbin pulls up for another deep three. This one was big for Corbin, though. 1,000 points for the man. He has been a stud, came over from Winthrop. The Colonials would have been a lot worse without him this year. He's been amazing. Trey Robinson hits a tough layup there. He was the B to Warwick's A all night. Josh Corbin with a little left hand there. He was amazing all night too. Essentially just a one-in-one game between the two. And now Folgueras comes with a block over Warwick. He tried to keep it going. Folgueras said no, no, no. Northern Kentucky would end up winning this game 70-60. You're going to see Marquise Warwick had 28 points. Josh Corbin 14 on 4 of 10 shooting from 3.
Disappointing loss right there, but just before that, men's basketball would also play against the Cleveland State Vikings. Earlier in the season, they lost a close one against Cleveland State just by 2 points, and the Vikings are 1 spot ahead of the Colonials in the Horizon League standings. So let's see how a team between 2 close teams in the standings could end up being at the end of this game. And the Colonials have not beaten Cleveland State since 2012, so you can see the players getting ready here at UPMC Event Center to do something that hasn't been done in over a decade, and that is to try to beat Cleveland State. And now we're going to start here. TJ Wainwright, he's going to find Josh Corbin, 1,000-point man, going under again, and that one is good. Still on his hot streak for the Colonials. And now Folgueras finds Chris Ford, Justice Williams. He's looking for some options. He's going to get TJ Wainwright. That's up. He's fouled, but it's good. 4-point play for TJ Wainwright. He'd put away the free throw to make it a 4-point play. And now Josh Corbin here. Again, pick and roll time. Marquise Hastings. That's bread and butter for the Colonials right there. Perfect combination between the two right there. And now Cleveland State, they're looking for some stuff here. On the backboard, that one is good by Tristan Inaruna. Bank was open right there on that jumper as we finish off the first half here. Now into the second half. Here is Jackson Last with the three-pointer. No good. Now, rebound Marcus Hastings. He's done that all season. Josh Corbin puts it up. That one is good from Josh Corbin. When is it not good? No headband this time. No problem for Josh Corbin. Now, Cleveland State looking for Drew Louder. He's going to get it right past Justice Williams. Puts up the jumper. That one's good. He made that one look easy. Justice Williams had no chance on that one. TJ Wainwright looking for some movement. He's putting on the moves right here. He's going to kick it out, actually, and Jackson Last, he's going to put up no good. Chris Ford knocks out Josh Corbin from I-79. That's good. Josh Corbin puts the Colonials back within 2. Close game here, still within 2 with a little under 5 to go. Louder's going to get it behind the back. Blocked by Jackson Last. Louder thought he had something going. No sirree, said Jackson Last. That one is out of bounds. Now it's a tie game here. Louder's got it again. He's going to get it over Last. That one's no good. Fulgaris falls, no foul. Tay Williams puts it away, and Cleveland State Vikings go up by 2. Now, working on Tay Williams is Hastings. That one's no good. Fulgaris, tough rebound. Corbin for 3, it has to be. No, but Fulgaris is there. And again, tie game. Fulgaris, absolutely perfect. He's fired up. What a show of effort from Fulgaris to keep the Colonials in this game. As we're going to go, you can see it here. Corbin, everyone thought he was going to hit it. Didn't happen, but Fulgaris, he took it in his own hands, quite literally, to tie the game up. Now it's last play here. Louder, he's had the ball almost the whole game for Cleveland State. What can he do to close it off? He's going to drive inside, puts it up with some jelly, and that's how the game's going to end here as he waves off the Colonials 73-71. Unfortunate loss here, but what a game between these two teams.
Louder had an impressive last play at the end, but that Tristan Enaruna, he's going to be playing somewhere special one day. I don't know if it's going to be the NBA. It's tough to make from the Horizon League. That's a very good ball player for Cleveland State. Now, on to the women's team. They also took on Northern Kentucky. This was just the night before the men's game. Let's see how this one fared. The Colonials would end up losing by a pretty big margin, 76-52. RMU was down 16-0 before they scored any points. And after that, it's just a pretty tough comeback to make. The Colonials ended up playing an even game after that, but honestly, just too big of a deficit to come back from. Macy Blevins was the difference maker. She had 31 points, 4 for 9. It was the Macy Blevins show up at the UPMC Event Center. She absolutely dominated from start to finish.
Now when we come back for Colonial Sports Center, you'll see women's hockey. They finish up their season as a player would get quite the award. We'll see you right after this.
When I first saw Turtle, my heart was full. Not anything but lonely.
We had this deep connection, this heart connection.
He just wants to be close to you and part of your life.
Every day with Turtle is a perfect day.
When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer.
I think everything he does shows how much he loves us.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a little bit of a lot of things.
But they're all pure love.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. And now we're coming back here, and as I told you before, we've got quite the award for one of our Colonials. Cam, take it right now.
Elena Giampetro won the CHA Rookie of the Year. She has been an absolute dog for the Colonials all year. I'd like to say I'm surprised she won the award, but I would be surprised if she didn't, if I was completely honest with you.
And you can see right here, 19 goals. That was tied for first among NCAA rookies. She was also tied for first with game-winning goals with NCAA rookies at 4, tied in fourth for points among NCAA rookies. Just a dominant all-around performance. She's the 5th Colonial to win the CHA Rookie of the Year. Fun fact, only the first of those players to be born and raised in the United States. But what a dominant year for the Colonials. Their future is absolutely bright with Giampetro leading it.
The Colonials have been absolutely powered by the youth movement. Janelle Evans won quite a few Rookie of the Week honors herself. Between Janelle Evans and Gianpietro, the Colonials have a lot to look forward to in the future.
Yeah, for sure. And their season was just wrapping up as they went to Erie to play Mercyhurst in the CHA semifinals. Cam Macariola went up there to give you everything that happened in the very first RMU hockey playoff series since the program came back. Cam, take it away.
The Robert Morris women's ice hockey team traveled up I-79 to take on the Mercyhurst Lakers in a best-of-3 series in the semifinals of the CHA tournament. The Lakers and Colonials split the season series 2 games apiece. In Game 1 of the tournament, the Colonials would be in full control, as they would set the pace of play and keep everything in front of redshirt freshman goaltender Maggie Hatch. Shaylin Snow would open the scoring for the Colonials on the power play 5 minutes into the second period. Mercyhurst goaltender Anna Nystrom would hold the Colonials to only 1 goal in the second period, making 17 saves. But at the start of the third period, former Laker Jersey Phillips would go bar down to extend the Colonials' lead just 32 seconds in. Later in the third period, the Colonials would extend their lead with a goal by Courtney Hall and an empty netter goal by Elena Gianpietro. Laura Eustace would score her first collegiate goal 30 seconds after Gianpietro's. Maggie Hatch would finish the game with 36 saves, and the Colonials would take Game 1. Head coach Logan Biddle spoke about Hatch's performance following the game.
Yeah, she's been great all year, and she just showed it again. She's a gamer and kept us in a lot of games maybe we shouldn't have been in this year, but she was great today.
In Game 2, graduate senior Emma Gorski would get the go between the pipes for the Colonials. The Colonials didn't have the jump as they did in Game 1. The Colonials kept turning the puck over in the defensive zone and would quickly find themselves down 2 goals as Mercyhurst Thea Johansson and Sarah Boucher would score for the Lakers. The Colonials went into the intermission where Coach Biddle's team found themselves once again, as they would fight back to tie the game thanks to goals from Elena Gianpietro and Lindsay Smolin. They would head to the third period tied at 2, just a goal and 20 minutes away from a trip to Penn State for the CHA title. But the Lakers' Vanessa Upson would have different plans as she would score the game-winning goal halfway through the third period. Upson would finish the game with 5 total points, as the Lakers added 2 empty net goals to take Game 2 and tie the series. Coach Logan Biddle spoke post-game about what went wrong for the Colonials in Game 2.
Yeah, I think we were a little jumpy for whatever reason. Kind of that smooth play that we had yesterday was kind of missing. But again, I think it was, credit to Mercyhurst. They came out and pressured hard, and it took us a little bit to get caught up to the pace. But again, the response to the second was great, and unfortunately, the first period pretty much did us in. And
Game 3 would be a nightmarish end of the season for the Colonials as the Lakers chased starting goaltender Maggie Hatch out of the net in the first period and would send themselves to the CHA finals with a 6-1 victory. The Colonials finished their first season back with a final record of 15, 19, and 1 and a bright future ahead of the program.
Cam Macariola, thank you for that look in at the Colonial series with Mercyhurst. Unfortunate they lost, but before we get out of here with hockey, men's hockey had their last regular season game. They went up to Air Force all the way up to Colorado. Let's see how that game went. Game 1, the Colonials would end up falling 5-2. It was 2-0 Air Force after the first period, 5-2 Air Force after the second period. As a result, Chad Veltri did end up getting pulled. 5 goals allowed to only 18 saves. If I do the math, that equals not a great save percentage. So he ended up getting pulled. The Colonials couldn't do anything in the third period. Austin Schwartz was the big difference maker in this game. 2 goals and 1 assist for Air Force. He's the reason they ended up winning 5-2.
Now as we move on into Game 2, this one took place on February 24th, and the last time these two teams faced off on February 24th was 12 years ago, where RMU would get an exciting overtime win, 2-1. This one you can see 2-1 once again, but the Falcons took this one. Tanner Klimke would score the first goal only 4 minutes in as RMU would jump up 1-0, but then Air Force would tie it, and then in the third period, Luke Y for the Colonials would get a tripping penalty, and Mason McCormick would capitalize and score the winning goal for Air Force, as this is how RMU would finish their regular season play. But we've got still exciting news for RMU hockey.
Casey, as you mentioned, RMU did just finish up their regular season, and now they move on to the Atlantic Hockey Playoffs, where they will take on Bentley. Let's take a look at the bracket. As you can see there, RMU comes in as the lowest seed. They take on Bentley in the first series. Canisius and Mercyhurst will take each other on in the 8-9 matchup. Niagara and Army. Niagara, Chad Veltry's former team, they play each other in the 7-10. Because Robert Morris is the lowest seed, if they win, they would end up taking on RIT in a best-of-3 series. It'll be a tough road for the Colonials. Let's see if they can do it.
Yeah, back in October, RMU beat Bentley 4-3 for their very first AHA win of the season. Now, as we look months later, the seasons have gone very differently from that point on. And important note, that game RMU won was at home. This one will be in Massachusetts. So important for the Colonials to see how this one you go. You can see the stats right here, and you can see how the seasons have swayed since that very first matchup. It should be an exciting game nonetheless, as RMU will look to win and force their way to play RIT. You'll hear more about me from this a little bit later at the end of the show.
Yeah, if RMU is going to win this game, you can see that the goals a game actually aren't that too dissimilar. RMU scores 2.5 goals a game. Bentley scores 2.7, essentially 2.5 goals a game. This might be a tighter matchup than the seeds indicate. I'm really looking forward to watching this one. As
am I. Now, when we come back from break, we've got lacrosse heating up their season and plenty of other stuff. And, of course, at the end of the show, top 5 play. Stick around right after this.
Bring it. Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home. Okay. Bye, guys. You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one? I gotta go eat, man. Sorry. I'll see you later.
Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. And as I told you right before we went to break, Cam, the lacrosse seasons, they're getting underway and they're heating up right now. So get us started with how women's lacrosse is doing.
Women's lacrosse went up to Loretto, PA to take on St. Francis University. Let's take a look at how that one went. RMU would end up losing 15-9. This one was kind of over before we really even started. After the first quarter, it was 7-2. After that, it was a pretty even game in terms of scoring after that, but too big of a deficit to come back from. 15-9 ended up being the final score. Sydney Riker, 15 goals allowed, 8 saves. Not a horrible day from her. Colleen Tift led the Colonials in scoring with 3 goals. Overall, some things to build on after the Colonials struggled a little bit earlier in the season playing bigger schools. Let's hope the Colonials can get it right before they get into conference play.
And they had another game against the Bucknell Bison. Let's see how that one went, as the Colonials still looking for that first win. And you can see here, couldn't find it, 17-11, making it their 3rd time in a row they've lost to these Bison. They were down 8-3 by the end of the second quarter. In the second half, they actually only scored 1 less goal than the Bison, but just could never get back in it. You can see here, Jenna Irwin, 4 goals herself, Sydney Riker, 17 goals, 13 saves, but just couldn't hang on in the end after that poor start. And speaking of poor start, that's what it's been for the women's lacrosse team this season. Plenty of stuff going on and plenty of big teams plays, but not a win on their schedule right now.
Yes, so far they are 0-5, and it's really hard to blame the Colonials. They just got a new coach after their longtime coach left, so the Colonials still trying to figure some things out. You're going to see here the Colonials aren't doing that poorly. Jenna Irwin so far has 6 goals, along with Colleen Tift. Both of them have had pretty solid starts to the year, but as you can see, it's led to an 0-5 record. They're scoring about 5 goals a game, and it's not really enough. The Colonials need more scoring if they want to start getting some wins in the win column. Sydney Riker also going to probably have to be a little bit better. A 317 save percentage, 32 saves to 69 goals. Just all in all, the Colonials are going to need to step it up a little bit if they want to get in the win column.
And when you talk about the start of the season, when you look at their first 3 games against such big schools, including #1 Boston College, those 3 games, they only had 5 goals. But now they're playing teams more around their competition where they can really start to get a handle on themselves. And they've got 20 goals in those last 2 games. So if that keeps going, they can find their footing. And by the time conference play comes around, they should be looking pretty good.
Honestly, hard to blame the Colonials. Like you said, #1 ranked Boston College. They played a ranked team in Cincinnati. Just all in all, not the start they wanted, but also not a bad start that you can really blame them for.
Exactly.
Now on to the men's lacrosse team. They had their home opener when Canisius came into town up at the Joe. Let's take a look at some highlights for that one. The Colonials start off in the first quarter. This was a pretty evenly matched game, so Casey, get ready for some fun highlights. David Burr is going to start off the scoring here. When he starts off, comes down the right side, goes across the middle, and he is going to shoot and score. He's the first scorer of the game, gets the Colonials on the board. 1-0 Colonials here. As you're going to see, just whips that shot in. Canisius goalie really never had a chance. Now, Jordan Reed's going to find Mason Wolford, who's going to find Mikey Howe right in front of the goal, and it's a tie ball game just a minute after the first goal of the game was scored. Now into the second. Aiden Greco is going to go all the way around the goal to find his partner, Elliot Holden. Elliot Holden had a great game for the Canisius Golden Griffins. This was his first one of the day. Made it 4-1 Canisius. Now, on to the next one. RMU is a man up. They're going to go all the way around the point, and they are going to find Elliot Holden again for another goal. 4-3 RMU on the man up. Going all the way to the fourth quarter. Ben Starkey's going to come all the way down from midfield, and he's just going to decide, hey, I'm going to do it all myself. Scores the goal, makes it 6-5 Colonials. And Casey, just buckle up because this one is going to keep getting better and better.
How? I mean, seriously, look at what we've had so far.
I'll show you. Nate Fletcher is going to save a Davy Collins shot. Mikey House rebounds it, and he is going to score. Makes it 7-6. Colonials still on top. Now 7-7. Canisius looking to score again. Quinn Huber takes a low shot. He scores the goal. 8-7 Canisius. Late in this one, just about 5 minutes left. There's a chance Quinn Huber might have put the nail in the coffin, but wait, Elliot Holden says, I'm going to have something to say about that. Goes all the way around the defense, takes the low shot with about a minute and a half left. He ties it up, and guess what? This one is going to extra lacrosse. They're going to overtime. The Colonials and Canisius Golden Griffins playing more ball. In overtime, Hunter Perwacki is going to get knocked down. Flag comes out. He gets back up. I don't know if he was mad or what. He does it all himself. Takes a shot from way out, and he scores a goal. From all the way up by the 20-yard line, he calls game. Canisius wins this one 9-8.
He absolutely just willed them to the win right there. What a win for them. What a way how that game ended. Unfortunate for the Colonials, but hey, when a player does that, what else can you really do?
Not much.
And now moving on to softball. Last the team traveled to Kennesaw, Georgia, right by Atlanta, to play in the I-75 Challenge. Now their last tournament in Wofford, that one was quite a challenge as they would finish 1-3. But now as we move into this 3-day tournament, let's see if they could pick it back up. And you can see first day couldn't really do it against Georgia State here. 2 losses right there in the first ever matchups between these 2 teams. Colonials still looking to get more wins on the board.
Now on to Saturday, the Colonials took on UNC Greensboro and Georgia Tech. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the official weather in the official scorebook was listed as a little chilly in this game. So in game 1, Jane Garver had a bit of a comeback. She pitched very well. The Colonials did end up falling on a late grand slam. In game 2, the Colonials kind of outmatched by a bigger team, but Elena Kutsajani hit her second home run of the weekend.
Now as we move on to Sunday, the Colonials would play the host Kennesaw State, and they would get demolished like I would demolish one of those Georgia Peach Cobblers. All 8 runs in this game came in the very first inning, and once that happened, the Colonials never really got their heads back up, and that was it for them. A bunch of losses in a row right there. Didn't get a single one. Now, next time the team will be in action this Saturday at East Tennessee State, well, they're looking to get their very first win since their very first game.
Now, as you said, RMU softball just getting their season started, but track's indoor season was coming to a close. They went up to Youngstown, Ohio, and had their championship for the Horizon League indoor season. Let's take a look at how the Colonials fared in that one. Hannah McDaniel came in 7th in the 200-meter dash, and the RMU 4x400 relay team and came in 2nd. That was one of the best finishes for the Colonials on the day. Juju Page Daughtery came in 7th in the 400-meter dash, and the distance medley relay team also came in 7th. A little bit lower down on the leaderboards, Ava Deming came in 8th on the 800-meter dash. Reina Tadero came 9th in the triple jump, and Emma Gia Christopher came 11th in the 1-mile run.
Now, when we come back after this, it is the top 5 plays of the week and also our games to watch with Cam. I know you're excited about yours, so stick around right after this.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back.
Dad!
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Colonial Sports Center. No point in making you guys wait. It's top 5 plays time. Casey, take it away.
At long last, let's get right into it. Number 5 right here. It's RMU men's lacrosse versus Canisius. An exciting game as we saw before, but it's an exciting goal to start us off. It was David Burris. He's slowly jogging to the outside, but now he starts his move. He does a little shimmy. He moves inside and rockets it in for the first goal of the game. What a goal was by David Burris. Cam, what do you call this little move he did right there?
The whip.
Oh, what a move right there. Is what a number 5 we have with a little whip.
And for the number 4 play of the week, RMU women's softball, they were down at Georgia Tech taking on Kennesaw State. Anna Resnick makes a diving play, flips over to Charlotte Grover. Somehow on this ball, the Colonials turn 2. We're going to watch it again. Truly, I don't know how she got it. I don't know how there was enough time to turn a double play there.
Now we're going to move on to number 3. It's RMU women's playoff hockey versus Mercyhurst. Courtney Hall, she's going to get it inside Jersey Phillips. That's a goal. The through pass right there. What a teamwork goal. You can see on the replay here what a shot we have as Courtney Hall sneaks it in, and Jersey Phillips sneaks it into the net herself. And unfortunately, that was their last win of the season.
For the number 2 play of the game of the week, I was in the building for this one, and it was crazy. Chris Ford finds Justice Williams. Justice Williams cuts in a little bit, finds TJ Wainwright. He takes a shot, gets fouled. Everyone was amazed it went in, and then he hit the free throw for the 4-point play. TJ Wainwright's taken a big step up for the Colonials this year, and this was just another play in his highlight reel.
4 points for number 2. Now we're going to move on to number 1. It's men's basketball again against Northern Kentucky. TJ Wainwright has the ball, looking for someone, but no one's looking at Martin Hastings, who has no regard for human life on that one. Look at him in the UPMC Event Center. He took the gravity out of it with this alley-oop for our number 1 play of the week. And now we're going to get into games to watch.
The top 5 plays of the week were always electric, and let's see what there is to watch next week. What I chose was Eastern Tennessee State taking on the Colonials, and you're going to see Jane Garver's my player to watch there. She has a 6.6 ERA. And I know you may be thinking, why did I choose her as the player to watch? Last year she had a 2.79 ERA with a 1.44 whip. This year she has a 6.6 ERA with a 1.8 whip. If the Colonials want to get better this year, it's going to be on the back of Jane Garver. She has to improve.
Now moving into mine, it is the game we talked about earlier, men's hockey versus Bentley. You know about it already. Chad Veltri needs to have a big game. He's a Hobie Baker nominee, which means he is nominated for the best player in men's hockey this season. He needs to have a big game. The Colonials want to keep their championship hopes alive. And that's how we're going to end our show today. I'm Casey Irwine.